Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Royce and Pedal Mel. Welcome to my channel. This is the beginning of part 13, and I will go ahead and put together the rear brake rotors and hats, whatever else needs done. And I think the calipers will get attached to the back. I had done the rear calipers when I'd done the front calipers a long time ago. It seems like a long time ago, but I guess it was only maybe a month ago. So I have the screws prepared here and some things laid out, but we will get started. And let's move some things out of the way here. Let's see here what we got. So this is at page 204, 205. And that is my kid talking in the background because they're off of school again for another snow day. All right, so I got to find here what I need. I don't think it matters. Some of these, it does matter on the direction of these fronts for the drilled parts, the photo etched parts. It does matter because I had some backwards on the other ones. I had to peel them back off. Technically, I should have just left it to be solid vented rotors and not the drilled rotors, because in 1970 they didn't run drilled rotors. So kind of still could kick myself, but I think it looks cooler with the drilled rotors. To be honest with you, I think it looks awesome, but it's not correct. So either way, we'll just go with the cool overlays. All right, so what do they show here? I don't think it really matters. Now they're showing, it does tell you here with an arrow which direction you need to have these pointing. So we will go with off of that. And hopefully I don't screw up like I did on the fronts and had somehow I got them mixed up, but it wasn't that big of a deal, and it wasn't that hard to get them to get the applique, or I don't know what you would call these, the photo etched overlays, peeled back off. I just used an X-Acto blade. So pretty simple to put everything together. So you probably wouldn't even really need screws. I mean, once you snap that together, it is not coming apart. But they have you put CP screws in, so I'm just gonna do the same as I did before on the fronts. Just a little bit added, but I mean, you could easily use super glue. It would not be that big of a deal. But I'm just gonna give what's provided, use as much as that it came with the kit, as I'm losing my train of thought. Butterfingers, come on. Some of these are just don't want to cooperate. There we go. All right. So then we got to do the front face, which they show, which one? They show the direction of going like that. And that's it. And then I'll do a black wash on it. So we'll start on the next one here. If I can get this sticker off of there. Kids. doesn't want to snap together. Why is it not? Come on. Oh, it's a big hole and a little hole? I'd never noticed that before. This hole's a little smaller than the other. Interesting. Don't think I ever noticed that before. Oh, that's the wrong screw. So now you guys got to see me put together the little rotors. So let's get the other screwdriver. I know it's fascinating watching me put stuff together. Not. Come on. All right. So now it's got to do the other sticker, or photo etch sticker. Just want to make sure because we don't have a choice. We only have one left, so that's it. Oh, sticker. Squeeze it together, and now I'll do a black wash, which I wish I had. I know where all my paper towels got to. I'm just going to use Tamiya's panel line black accent. I do like the other one that I had talked about before. The water-based Vallejo wash is pretty decent too. That's a really nice. That one came off Amazon. I think this was off eBay. Brush is kind of small, so I'll just put that aside and use my larger brush. These can be soaked pretty heavily because I want the black to go down inside the dots, the little holes there, so I'm going to soak this pretty heavy. So it goes to show you don't have to be super careful with this. And then I'll go back over it another time. Probably several more times. We'll just set that down for now. I'm purposely saturating these right now, so it's going to look kind of crappy until I go back, do some cleanup on them then. Oh, dog hair or something there. Gonna let that sit for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I gotta go find some fresh thinner here. All right, next up, after I applied the Tamiya accent color of black, which was this one here, that is not water-based, but this one is water-based. And what I found with the front rotors, I'm going to just do the same thing. I'm going to go back over, do a quick wash, which I started doing here. Apparently I was not videoing, so it's off camera, but just a quick wash. I'm kind of going in the direction of the holes on the rotor. And I will do the sides then and the back, most likely off camera. Let's get some more of this. I do like how it's just a single, oops, that was too much, single dropper. Like the way that bottle works is really nice. So this, I'm not I don't have to be real careful. I am kind of going in the direction that the holes are running, but I don't have to be super careful here with what I'm doing. Could probably do the second step with either one, but I like the way that the water-based one works after the fact of putting on the one that is enamel based. I think this is what this is, right? Enamel. Either way, you have to use mineral spirits or a thinner to thin that out. So then what I like to do, we're going to do it here to this one, is I just kind of go around, and I was blotting. This one's already starting to dry very quickly. And I am going in the direction of the holes and just kind of blotting off and adding my own scratches with the, this is just a napkin. It gives a great look. So it ends up looking very realistic. These hats on the rotors are totally wrong. Not anything like the real car had, but what are you going to do? I mean, there's not much you can do about that. So you can have fun with it. And it actually looks better if you do like what I did with this one, let it dry for a few minutes. But either way, it doesn't really have to be perfect. And probably no one's ever going to see it anyway, but you'll know it's done. It's kind of going in the same direction. So this is clockwise on this one. And like I said, I did not do the back or the sides yet on that one. I think this one I did start on, which, like I said, I don't think anyone's ever going to see it anyway, but it's looking pretty good. And then we'd have the caliper. It's going to look pretty sweet. The only thing I don't like about the water-based one is it kind of wants to bead up and just doesn't. You almost have to hit it two, 3 times, and then it kind of lays down a little better. But I think it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely easy to work with because if you mess up or anything, it's easy to remove any color that you don't like, or if it's you have it layered on too thick. It's kind of nice to be able to go back. Kind of let that dry, and like I said, you don't, even if you screw up a little bit or what you think you screwed up, it's easy to remove some of the liquid off of it even after it dries. It's pretty forgiving. So that's that with that, and we'll move some stuff out of the way here and scoot this off the page. And we are at pack 45. And it looks like I'll be able to put the rear shocks back together or to finish them off, which will be cool. Over here we have to put the brake calipers on yet on the rear. So what I'm going to do is work on some of this possibly off camera, the duct work here. I think this is all for the cools the transmission. There's that for the brakes, brake duct. And it says transmission, okay. Which they show all that tubing in black, but I don't know. I think it would have been raw fiberglass. So here we have oil recovery tank. All right, I'm going to let that dry and come back, and we could start putting the back brakes, all mounting them onto the car. All right, in order to prepare the rear calipers, I ended up cutting off the nipple that was supplied on the bottom there for the rubber tubing that comes with the kit. I drill 1mm hole, and then I put the Detail Master braided line, which I'm not sure what number this is. It's meant for 1/24 scale model kit, I believe, and I think it'll work perfect for this. And I put a little bit of shrink tubing on the end, jam it in a hole with some super glue, and I'll paint the black shrink tubing aluminum color, and it'll be fairly convincing when I'm done. That's what I did with the front calipers. And one thing I had noticed though with this kit is, if you look here at the calipers, they got this design is on the one side. These are Girling brake calipers, and then it's flat on the other side. Technically, the real car, from all the photos I saw, this flat portion would have been pointing outwards towards the outside of the car. They have it opposite on this kit, and all the pictures I keep finding, this design, it points on the inward or inboard of the car. Not a huge deal, but it's definitely not correct according to all the photos I'm looking at. But that's only if you want to get super anal. You'd have to cut off these bracket ears, I guess, and flip everything around. I didn't want to go to that trouble, so I just left it as is. Not a huge deal, I guess, but if you want accuracy, you're going to have to flip the calipers all around, because they are definitely mounted wrong on this kit. I don't think it's a huge deal, though. So, all right, so next thing what I started doing is I pulled out packet number 45, which is all the this pieces here and that metal brace. These other two braces are metal as well, but the black ductwork is plastic, which that's the other thing I can't find any photos showing them in black on the John Wire cars. Maybe they were later on as these cars got restored later on in their life post racing. All the photos that I keep finding, everything that I've seen, they are in the raw aluminum. I'll try to find a better picture of them, but you'll have to take my word for it. But anyway, so I'm probably gonna have to prime these and then do the like a fiberglass color for all the tubing. Not a huge deal, but anyway. So let me finish the other caliper here, and then I'll be right back. After cutting this cable here, which is essentially what it is a cable of some sort, but definitely works best for me anyway. I've been putting the liquid plastic model cement on the ends and doing a twist and pull out motion, and then that dries, and it's awesome. Gives you a great start for the ends that you aborted or cut off, whatever you want to say. Oh, this one apparently I already did drill out. That's nice. Okay, that's good. All right, so what we need to do is, where's my shrink tubing at? I think it's lovely. Where did you go, shrink tubing? Oh boy. Since I have plenty of it in my kit, this is the 1mm size shrink tubing, which is Really nice that comes in the kit. This size here is 1mm, very small. I do have the link for that kit down below. I'm sure I mentioned it 1,000 times before. Just gonna snip off a little section of that. We'll slide it on here. And what I've been doing was just leaving a little bit there so I can stick in the hole a little bit. Oop. Like that. Now, I've not been getting the flame very close, obviously. I don't have a small. You can buy miniature heat guns. I don't have one. Would be probably nice to have one, but I don't know when else I would ever really use it. Now I was just putting just a little bit of super glue on there, which that's actually too much. Let me get some of that off. Wait, I have that on the wrong side. I think I want, I gotta make sure I get this on the right side. So this is going, yeah, it's left side. Okay, so it'll be on this side. It's as simple as that, and then I'll go back and we'll let that dry, and I'll go back and I'll paint that shrink tubing then. I'm not sure how much of this I could cut off. I'll just do like, I should have did that before, but we'll let that dry. Do this again to preserve the ends. Works awesome. All right, we'll let that dry. Close this up. Still got a good bit of this left of this Detail Master. I'll have to look and see what size. I got it off of eBay. I'm not sure what size that is, because I do have one that's even slightly smaller. All right, I could start putting this together, I guess. I don't know why they have you doing screws for this. I think we got some cleanup work to do as well on them. A little bit there, it's not too bad, but I think what I'm going to do is glue them together, and then I'll do some cleanup on them. So let's see, where's the bracket supposed to go? So hold it like this. This goes like that. So that one we could put, what was it, an AP screw? It does have a little L marked on there. I don't think I'm going to use the other screws though to put them together. I think I'm going to use, put this back. I think I'm just going to use some glue. So this will be pretty strong when it's together. So I'll have to do some filling in. Maybe you're filing anything that's doesn't need to, any mold lines that don't look right. But that's that. And I don't know, they just look weird to me in the gloss black. Doesn't look right. All right, I'm gonna stop there, eat my lunch, and come back and hopefully mount the rear calipers. All right, I got the left caliper mounted up. I had the brake lines on the wrong spot. So where you see the white 1mm styrene plug at the top, which will be the bleeder screw, that's where I originally had them mounted. So I had to take them back apart. So now I have the lines going in the correct side, and use the 1mm styrene and plug this side as well, and should be okay. And looking at pictures, I have the braided lines would have went up behind this stabilizer bar here, this arm drop link for the anti-sway bar. I guess you'd call it the anti-sway bar end links. And you can kind of see that. Well, you can actually see it pretty well in there on that shot. And it is clearly stainless steel braided brake lines. You can see it over there as well. Pretty good pictures. These shots were taken in 71, and you can see even in 1971 that there's no drilled rotors present. So, but this is number 18, which was a long tail 043 chassis number. So they did, from what I was reading in some of the other books, the long tails, they did not use drilled rotors. That's why there you can clearly see that. But even in 70 on the short tails, from all the photos I have, there's no drilled rotors. And you can see there's a good shot of the hat for the rotors. It doesn't look anything like what's on the kit, but it's okay. I mean, you're never going to see it anyway. Here I discovered, I was looking through some parts I had pre-assembled prior, and I was looking for the other halves to the rear shock absorbers, and I realized these radius arms were never installed. So there should be one on each side on the bottom. You can see it right there. And added a faux nut there on the one side, and I got the other shock mount at the top, added a faux nut on the back side. Bad thing is that ear, I don't have that on this side, so I can't install the other shock absorber over here till the envelope from France arrives, which I did get another email yesterday from IXO Collections, and they said it got approved, and they're supposed to be going to be mailing it out. I don't know why it went through so many different channels to get approved for a little envelope, but anyway, I did do a little bit of a black wash on that radius arm, give it some more character, and like I said, I'll have to do the other side. I probably will not do it on camera because it's basically just two screws. Down here, this one, the OM screw, has like the built-in washer to it. I was thinking about just super gluing it there and then put a fake faux nut there, but I just was like, heck with it. I'll just use the supplied screw so it's stronger, because I don't know the way this is supposed to work, the suspension on this. I don't want that falling apart later on when I get it done. So I thought I'll just go ahead and, glue everything now. I mean, not glue it, but screw it together there. But interesting shot of it, though, while it's propped up. This here, by the way, that they had listed as an oil pump, which makes no sense to me because I couldn't find any reference on that little, reminds me of like the belt on Darth Vader or something. But that little square with the other two little squares in there, I think what that is actually a modern day plug like you see on forklifts, like to attach a battery to start this car up. Because I can't find any period piece photographs with that block there. So I'm darn tempted. I'm thinking about removing it because it's not very accurate. And I'll point out it one more time. I grab a yellow paintbrush handle And so you guys can see what I'm talking about, that right there. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. And I looked at where I work, I looked at forklifts and I thought, you know what? That's, I think, for where you plug in a battery, a forklift battery, the plug. So it kind of looks like the receptacle to me. I could be wrong on that, but when you look at some of these modern vintage car events, I've seen the guys have these type of receptacles on where they just plug a battery in and they can start the car up or whatever that way. But I can't find any period piece photos with that transmission with that block thing, whatever that is, mounted to the back there. So anyway, but so they were looking good view there of the brake lines, looking pretty cool. Just gotta figure out here how to get everything attached. Then I'm just gonna use found some really nice aluminum tubing I had here, which will be perfect. I won't even need to paint it or anything. That'll mate up. It slides right onto my hard line, and that'll mate up to the soft lines there. All right, so they want me to add this X brace, and just goes like, drops in these two holes and then leans forward and should go in. There's two other holes. I just got to figure out what screws are supposed to hold that in place. Can't do the other shock absorber. Let's see here. Looks like I am. More like I am getting annoyed I don't have that upper shock support. All right, so where's the IM screws here? So we need two of those. Put those there. And those shall go in this from the side, which is, it's hard to see. Everything's black on black there, so it's hard to see where to go in. Can't even see a hole. I didn't see a hole anywhere. Oh, I got great. I hope that shock isn't going to be in the way on the other side. Lovely. I don't even know how I'm going to do that on the other side. They have me do it after the shock absorber install, so maybe get that out of the way. It is hard to see though where you're going here with it. Jeez Louise. That is not fun getting in there. I can't even see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can remove the rotor maybe. As I scratch it all up, trying to get it out of there. I can't see what I'm doing. This is a bitch, this one. I don't know why they have you do that after the fact of after the shocks there, but because I think it could have been done prior. That doesn't really make any sense to me. Let's see if we can get that. This is freaking annoying already. I'm getting annoyed. Let's see if we can get that pushed out of the way. Super annoying. I'm about ready to just super glue it in there. I can't even tell if I'm going. See, it just popped right back out. I don't even think that's in there, like where it's supposed to be. Oh, maybe now it is. Lovely. Super annoying. Maybe we can stick that in there to get it to stay forward, the bottom half of that shock absorber. Like I said, it's getting very bulky. All right, here we go. Hopefully, it doesn't feel like it's grabbing the bar though. Something ain't. It's not going in there. I can see it, but it's just not going in. Now, this is so freaking annoying. Wow, I have the light positioned going above me, so for doing the videos, and it doesn't help anything when you're back at my point of view. Everything is dark. There it goes. There. So you got to really ram it in there because you're creating the threads. I'll have to touch that screw up, but let's move to this side and get the other one. Where's the other screw? I don't know where it went. There it is. So let's do the other side here. Which should be real fun because the shock absorber is already all together on this side. See, I don't know how I'm going to... Yeah, there's no way you're going to get a screwdriver in there. There's no... Absolutely no way. Maybe from this angle here, but I highly, highly doubt it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Why do they have you do that after this? Or was I supposed to have done that before? Maybe I was supposed to have done that before. Yeah, I guess I was supposed to have done that before I put this shock absorber together there. Oh well. I'll figure something out for that side. Might be able to get it in. Yep, that's my kid yelling. Alright. Why is this not... Yeah, I'm in the right spot there, looks like. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to have to super glue this in there. I don't think it's actually going to come out of there anyway. It's stuck in there pretty good. Maybe we could lift this up and I could put a dab of super glue on each side of this bracing. Okay, so that should be... I don't think that's going to go anywhere. To touch up some of the scratched up screws. So I started working on the ductwork here. So I need to pack the 2 screw holes with some paper towel and then covered it with Tamiya putty. Now you can see it's solid in there. So we're going to drill that out. All right, 1 down, 1 to go. All right, get the crumbs out of the way here. So what I'm thinking for these is I'm going to prime them, and then I'm going to paint them like a tan color. I think the raw fiberglass color for them. I just got to wait for the putty mess to dry there and file that down. But I have some tricks up my sleeve for these. So we're going to set them off to the side for right now. All right, I joined together the hard brake lines to the soft brake lines on the front. using 1mm aluminum hollow tubing. And if you can't see what I'm talking about, if you just follow this up, right there's the junction point. So everything's going to be hidden anyway. You're never going to see probably any of this stuff, but still kind of cool working on it. Moving to the back, like I said, I'm still missing that one piece that would go right here, that ear, that is the upper shock mount. So that sucks that that's missing, but it's looking pretty cool. It's getting there. I did do a light black wash on all the calipers. After that dried, you really probably can't even tell. But I did the Allen head bolts on the caliper. If you're curious, that was just Tamiya gunmetal gray. The rest is Tamiya flat aluminum for the calipers. So now the next thing is I'm not sure what the next thing is here yet, but let's see here what's up next. I was still waiting for the putty to dry on the ductwork for the transmission cooling ducts, I should say. All right, I had whittled out some more of the other ends of the piping, the ductwork for the transmission. They were so fat, so whittled some of that away to thin the material out to make it a little more realistic, and sanded them, and I think they'll be ready for paint, or prime them, I should say. This oil recovery tank, we got some work to do on this. Off camera, I put the backing on there, but it's going to need a lot of cleanup work, and I'm not sure what's going on here with it. Why they painted the bottom half black, if that was supposed to look like oil inside the tank. The bottles doesn't, the real bottle, it's kind of similar to it, but it's going to need to be repainted. So I'm just going to prime and paint this the same time I do the two ductwork tubes there. We should get the mold lines all cleaned up on this, but I'll put reference photos possibly on the screen here for this. Let's see here. So here you can see the bottle. So good shot there of it. Let me see if I can find another picture. Some interesting shots here of the ductwork, and there's a cooling line here. This is in 1971. There's a cooling line there going to the back of the trans, so maybe that was an update for 71. It's been kind of tough finding, but there's good pictures of the ductwork being in the raw fiberglass color. It's not been easy finding pictures though of that bottle, recovery bottle, but here you can see how white all the fiberglass was when it was new. Very white, very almost nearly translucent. So that's 1969 body work. I don't even know if I don't even see that recovery tank. And it really looks translucent there in those photos. I don't even see that tank anywhere, but let's look in the other issue here once. Here's at Daytona 1970, and you can see it's not black. Here are the tranny cooling tubes there. Here is the recovery bottle right there, and there's no black bottom on it. We've got a rubber band or rubber strap around the bottle. Same down here, you can kind of see that. And again, raw fiberglass color for the tubes. It's John wire there. And let's see if there's any other photos. Probably not of. Anyway. So I will get working on this to make it look as accurate as possible. I should say demold line it and all that, clean it up, and then I'll prime all this stuff together, and we'll pick back up from there. All right, I've been researching this oil recovery tank and trying to figure out how off is this from the actual car. They show, like here, they show the oil line coming out like the front of the bottle. I can't find any reference photos showing that. Everything I keep finding, like the shape is completely wrong. There's like two ears at the top. Does have the two ridges there, like and now that one does have some insulation on the bottom of the bottle. I don't see any, like here it shows a nipple coming out of the top and then a hose going there. So I don't know, there it's hard to see that. In that photo you would think that there's no nipple at all, but the hose is right there. It's just kind of hidden. It's an optical illusion, I should say, the way that photo is. This is all factory original for the most part, at least when these photos were taken of the Martini Longtail. So I'm going to go off these reference photos. I'm going to have to fill all these holes. I'm going to have to fill that line going around where you snap it together. I'm going to cut that nipple off. Going to get rid of these nipples. The way they show it here, it's going to be a brace that comes down here that attaches. It's hard to see that. It's going to attach to the, I think it's this side here where it's angled, the dots. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet with that. Let me see if I can show you a better picture of that. I don't know if I can show it or find it now. Yeah, there. So there they show it like that, and then the hose coming off the front. I don't know what, if they plan on having a hose going to that top nipple. Doesn't look like it, but so I'm gonna have to make a little red cap, I think, for that. I just want to make it look pretty accurate. I just don't understand what they're doing here with this bottle. It looks completely wrong. I mean, at least it has like the two ridges there. I'm not sure what's going on with the black bottom, if that's supposed to simulate like oil in the tank or in the, because it would have been, when that bottle was new, it was basically like a windshield washer plastic bottle. You wouldn't be able, it wouldn't been, it would not have been perfectly clear, but it would be like a nice white color when it was new, and then it turned yellow over time. I'll try to put some other reference photos up on the screen, but it's been very difficult finding decent photos of that bottle for whatever reason. Oh, this is one of the John Wire long tails, and you can see here where the hose is coming out the upper top corner, same as the other photos I'm finding. And then also the two ridges on the bottle, from a lot of the photos I've been seeing, it was a rubber strap that held the bottle to the frame. So I think I'm going to do that. Here's another shot here of, this is the number 17 Golf Longtail. And there's a shot with I think it was a Porsche 901 part number, I believe, for that windshield washer bottle. And there you can see the label, which I'm probably going to add eventually to mine when I get done with it, which has the part number on it. I think it was just from a Porsche 911, but it's a 901 part number, I believe. But that has the rubber strap there holding the bottle in. And the bottle is, yeah, the bottle's flipped around. Like the way I have it mounted on the car, the neck is on the opposite side there, but here we can see another shot of that bottle. There's no rubber strap there holding it though, but there's clearly a red cap on the top. This is a number 18 long tail. All right, here's a good shot from the Daytona race of 70, and you can see a rubber strap. Really good shot there. The rubber strap around the bottle, and then where the hose comes out up the top. So I don't know why they have the bottle with the hose coming out the front, if it was just a convenience thing. Interesting there, it actually has the older rubber braided brake lines in that shot too, before they went to the Aeroquip stainless braided brake lines. You can see that there. It has looks like almost like white stripes. It's just a hard plastic wrapping around there, I guess, to protect the rubber. There again, another shot of the bottle. Hard to see there, but it's there. So I just began the process of trying to get all the bumps and extra nipple cut off, and I will fill those holes there, sand everything down, and hopefully I can use this bottle, because I really don't want to have to mold a new bottle. But that's where we're at. That. Slowly getting there. Up there, but the seam's looking pretty good around there. So I'm going to have to drill probably right in there a hole and add a piece of styrene rod. I have to see what I have. It says 2mm. That sure don't look like 2mm though, does it? I guess it is. And I'll make a cap for the top there then. Should be pretty cool. I might even make the little ears. I think I'm gonna make the two little ears there out of some scraps of styrene. This is from when I made a stormtrooper armor one time a few years ago. So this is, let's see how thick this is. This is pretty thick styrene. 1.2 millimeters. That's why I like keeping scraps around, because you never know when you'll need them. So much fun. So lots of things I don't film because they're tedious. But I am making the cap out of styrene for the top of here, and it's just normally what I would use is a hole punch, but the styrene's pretty thick, so I just eyeballed it and cut cut it with some snips and just kind of, oh, hopefully that didn't go, hopefully I didn't just lose that. Oh, there it is. So I've just been sanding it all by hand, and that's just wanted to show that quick in case some of you guys were curious. I just ballparked some ears on there for now, and they will need some tiny holes drilled in and whittled out and do some other creative garbage on there, but getting there. All right, getting pretty far with this bottle. It's looking pretty decent. It's not perfect, but I think it'll be fine. That's the back side. Upon further investigation of this, and I do enjoy learning every day. I'm learning something new. Actually, I probably learned 3 or 4 or 5 things new every day in my life. I think you never stop learning, and I do enjoy researching. And anyway, upon more research with this recovery bottle, this is actually for the transmission, which I had never known that. I always thought it was for just vapors or whatever from the oil from the engine. So this hole here that's going to be at the top is actually a vent. That's just vented to the atmosphere. I looked at several photos, and the rubber, they just used black rubber tubing. It just went out and just dumped either onto the, actually, vented towards the ground or wherever, basically. Some bottle pictures I've seen, some bottles that have 2 holes drilled in on the upper side, and they just ran clear tubing. I'm just going to do 1 hole for now for there, but so what I'm going to try to explain is 1 hose will be going over to the side of the transmission. I had never noticed, but there is a nipple sticking out. You can kind of see it there. Let me see if I can find something to point. That 1 line will be going to there. Find something to point here. It'll be going to that nipple right there. So basically it's a vent, and any excess oil would have dropped into that bottle. And this is looking at chassis number 42, which is the Martini Longtail. You can clearly see there's 2 hoses they've discolored over the years. One is going over to the side of the transmission, and this one here is going up somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where that's going. Possibly back to this over. I'm not sure where that's going. I have no idea. But it's pretty clear there's 2 holes drilled in the top of the bottle there. The main one in the back, which is black on black, it's hard to see there. It's a black hose for sure coming out, and then it just dumps into the atmosphere. They have it run into the back. So it's really cool learning and finding out these things. So there's no doubt in my mind now that I'm on to something here of trying to get this figured out, because I wasn't quite sure how to go about this. I'll show another convincing photo here in the Joe Honda photos. This is the one I got off of eBay from Model, MH Model Factory Hero or whatever. So we will go to just a good picture in here somewhere if I can find it. All right, here we go. Here's a decent photo of it. You can clearly see there's a clear tubing going up and around and over towards the transmission, and then the black hose, which is by the skin of my hand there, is just dumping onto the ground basically. But that was a vent. That's all that does is vent out the excess transmission gases, I would assume, is what's going on there. So I will get back to I think I can go ahead and we can prime these 3 parts here and get cracking with it. I'm pretty happy with the bottle though. I think it's looking pretty cool. Not sure why they have the neck off center. That you can kind of see it there. It's off center a little bit, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. I don't think anyone's ever going to notice. That bottle, I've yet to find the actual Porsche part number on that bottle, but either way, I think I'm pretty close to having it completed. And you can see on the red cap, there's a section that I think when you would pop that off, so it would stay on. And the shaping is a little different. The molding on the way it's molded at the top is a little different than the one here in the kit, but it's going to be doable. It'll be fine. Not too worried about it, but I'm glad I found some decent photos of it. So I'll be back. We'll go prime these. All right, getting the fan fired up, and we will get this primed. I'm just going to use white primer from Tamiya, or Tamiya, however you prefer to pronounce it. Growing up, we always said Tamiya, but I know that's not right. But I'll be right back. All right, so I primed these earlier in the day. I've just had some pipes burst in my basement, so my hands are all dirty, and I have glue and everything on. I can't turn the water on just yet in my house, so I don't really want to be handling these more than necessary. I think I'm going to leave off the video where I'm at, but I'm really happy with the bottle. There's the bottle, and it's not perfect. I'm probably going to add another coat of white on there and detail to do the red cap and all that. Try not to handle it too much here with my dirty fingers. And the ductwork looks pretty decent. A little bit deeper down because I drilled the holes in there. I need to do a lot of work with that. And that's going to be the cliffhanger, I guess you want to call it, to begin part 14 of the build. So that'll be a little bit of something to give you guys look forward to coming back. I'm pretty happy with the bottle, and I added a little styrene nipple on the side so I could clamp it into my alligator clip, and a hose will go there as well. But so I have a hole there for tube, and pretty happy. So I'm going to leave off there. I can't wait to be able to wash my hands and possibly take a shower after fixing a whole bunch of plumbing pipes here in the basement. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you guys are not a subscriber, I'd really appreciate it. It's free, and you can't beat free. Hit the bell for notifications and give me a like. And if you'd like to make a comment or anything at the bottom, I really like reading all the comments. Is nice. And I will see you guys possibly next week. You guys have fun. Take care. Bye now.